All right, guys. I was filming and my thing just stopped. I was saying this video is dedicated to Jody and Julie. And I just got home. As you guys can see, there's groceries on the floor that need to be put away. And there's my bag with paperwork and stuff and my shades. And I have some happy mail that I'm going to share with you guys later. I'm going to try to get to the point and try not to talk too long. But for the past 3 days, I have been crying, feeling hopeless and helpless, and feeling like I had the nerve to say to Jesus, "Why have you forsaken me?" And I was crying, and I was worshiping him too, you know. But I was just all of a sudden, all of these pages, all of these days of pages of writing stuff was as if I had not written it at all. What happened to look at Jesus blessing other women to lose weight, other people to lose weight who love him. Look at Amber, look from Amber Plans Her Day, look at Nisha, look at what he's doing for Missy, look at what he's doing for this person and that person. And he will do the same for you. He's helped you before. But I just felt like my well had ran dry, that Jesus is not going to help me anymore to lose weight. He's not. He's not going to get me Manjaro again. All of my resources have been exhausted. And there's nothing for the first time in my life, I have to rely on myself to do the work. There's nobody to motivate me. There's no fitness guru gal that I'm running behind. And there's no drugs, because I refuse to pay $4,000 a month for certain drugs that will cause instant weight loss. And I refused to, be foolish like that. And I just felt like maybe this is my cross, that I have to bear this cross until Jesus comes. I have to bear this cross until the day I die. My days of being healthy and thin are over, because it's just not happening. Everything is hard. Everything is mathematical. And the people that, maybe I just have to, maybe this is just how I have to live. And was crying, and I literally had said, "Jesus, why have you forsaken me?" And it's like, and then I was like, "Pam, you know better, you know better, you know better." And I'm like, "You got to get yourself together. You got to get yourself together." I drank so much NyQuil that it made my head spin, like I had some serious vertigo issues, because I just didn't want to feel the hurt. And those bottles of NyQuil, I drank almost the whole bottle in one night. Just go, 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 because I was hurting. And I've never done that before. I don't recommend anyone doing that. But I've been dreaming about macaroni and eating macaroni and cheese. I've been dreaming about eating sweet potato pie. I've been dreaming about eating the foods that I love and all that other kind of stuff. And I looked at myself yesterday in the mirror, and I was like, "Girl, you might as well forget it. Jesus is just not helping you anymore. He's giving you too many freebies in your life, And what did it do? Look where it got you. Look at where you are today, and all the times that Jesus made provisions for you. And look where you are today. You have very little to show for it. I have nice breast. I have nice breast because I had a boob job. No, breast lift. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much about it. It's and I don't have a blubber belly, but I do have a big belly, but it's not blubbery. It's just like somebody who would be bloated, which I am most of the time. So you can tell that I had a full tummy tuck, but you can't see my ab sculpture. You can't see that, And I threw out a bunch of clothes, and I was just crying. And I'm like, "Jesus, you weren't fat. You weren't uncomfortable in your skin. Jesus, you did not become a menopausal woman who had thyroid disease and metabolic syndrome. And I'm just going on and on and on, crying to Jesus. And I'm like, I just feel like a hopeless, helpless failure because I feel like you're not helping me anymore. And so anyway, I just go to sleep and I get up today and I make sure that I have the same jewelry on that I wore 2 weeks ago when I got weighed in. And I went in, talked to my doctor, and we had a long talk. I mean, it was a beautiful conversation. We even cried together. He hugged me, and I hugged him. It was a beautiful, beautiful time. I mean, my doctor, Craig Fisher, he and my husband were friends before I knew him, you know. So we're really close. We're all really close. And he was just like the doctor that always looked out for me. But he was so happy. He thought he failed me as a doctor because I wasn't doing what I needed to do and stuff. And he was like, I felt like I couldn't get through to you, you know. But that last meeting 2 Thursdays ago, I don't know, it was Jesus. It was Jesus. It was Jesus. It was Jesus. He said something that got through to me. You don't need Manjaro. You don't need this. You don't need these things that you rely on. All you need to do to get your A1C down, to get your liver healthier, to get everything healthier before it gets too late is to stop eating starches. Just stop eating it. That's all you have to do. Okay, you want to eat starches for the rest of your life and never eat proteins and vegetables and just starches. Which one would you choose? I would choose protein. I would choose to get rid of the starches. And I made that decision up in my mind. But that wasn't the only factor. Jody made a comment about how she started keto in February and the impact that it made on her. And I don't know, it was like Jody's words were so powerful. And it's like she was saying, and I said this before, and Jody just said something that was like so overwhelming for me. Like, you couldn't pay Jody to go back to the way that she was living before, eating the way that she was eating before. You couldn't pay her to do it. She said the weight came off fast. And I'm like, yeah, it would come off fast for Jody, but it wouldn't come off fast for me. I'm on levothyroxine, you know. But for some reason, Jesus would not let Jody's words part from me. You know, I would hear, I would remember, I could like hear Jody in my head saying, that it was the best decision that she had made, and she would never, you couldn't pay her to go back to the way that she used to live, the way that she used to eat. And I want to thank you, Jody. I want to thank you for taking the time to comment. I want to thank you for allowing Jesus to use you to help me, because, you don't realize how much a person's comment can affect somebody else. There's power in words. You can crush a person, you can uplift a person, you can make a difference in somebody's life. And so whoever got you on keto, Jody, there is a trickle down thing. And I want to give it to Julie, because Julie is my sister in Christ who suffers from food issues. And Julie, I want to tell you, Jody, I want to tell you, I went to the doctor's today and I had not went to the bathroom. I'm telling you the truth. I hadn't poo-pooed yet. Okay? You never weigh in before you poo-poo. I hadn't poo-pooed yet. And I was like, oh God, this is probably going to be rough because I have not went to the bathroom yet. But I go in with the same jewelry that I wore before. Hair clip in my hair, same outfit, just different shorts and different t-shirt. And I weighed in and he was so happy. He said, you lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks. You lost 5 pounds. I was like, what? I said, I just don't believe it. His nurse, who was also I love her to death, was so happy that I had lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks. When I was younger, I could lose 5 pounds in 2 weeks. But at this age and on levothyroxine, you telling me that I lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks? Something wrong with your scale. I haven't even went to the bathroom yet. Jody, thank you. Thank you for letting Jesus use you to give me hope and encouragement, motivation. And I'm grateful that summer came. Don't tell anyone I said that, because this is what I'm doing. I challenged myself and got on that tread climber. My doctor, Craig, was like, I'm so glad that you have a tread climber. That's better than a treadmill. I want you elevated, and I want you alternating between that and the elliptical. And Jesus did all of this. If it had not gotten hot, I would still be walking outside, which is not a bad thing, but it wouldn't be as much of a challenge as it is on the tread climber. And, it's just, everything is just like working together for my good and his glory. And I didn't see it coming. I didn't even have faith to believe that it would happen. I did not have faith to believe that Jesus was going to work this out for me. I was thinking my best bet is to get, like what that other doctor said, you just better, if you just get, you ain't that far from type 2 diabetes, you're 6.1. And then I can give you Manjaro. But I never learned any lessons, because on all the stuff that I've done throughout my life has always been the easy way out so that I could eat carbs. Who would have thought? I'm like, you mean to tell me all this time, all I had to do was just do keto, just cut my carbs out like that, and I could lose 5 pounds in two? I would have been lost this weight. You telling me that that's all I had to do, Jody? You telling me that's all I had to do? It's all in the mind. So I just can't believe that weigh-in. See that right there? Weigh-in. I can't believe you mean to tell me that was all I had to do was just eat steak and vegetables, and I could lose 5 pounds in 2 weeks. I went to Ocean City, and we were on our way there, and we always get burgers and fries. Guess what I got? I got chicken tenders, greasy old chicken tenders from Royal Farm, and coleslaw. I don't know what to say, but I want to say to Julie, listen to Jody. I want to say, Julie, I want you to have success with me. It's time out for us always seeing other people have success and we not. Julie, stop eating bread and potatoes and pasta. Eat meat and green leafy vegetables, and just do it gradually. And, if you want some, you pita chips, sprinkle pita chip crumbs over your salad, sprinkle pita chip crumbs over your taco salad or whatever. When I add up all my carbs come to less than 30 grams of carbs a day. And the carbs that I eat, that I count, are the starchy carbs. So that my little tortillas, 2 of them, 14. I don't even eat bread anymore. I don't eat bread. I just eat my tortilla. I don't eat bread. And I don't eat potatoes. I don't eat French fries. Last night I wanted some barley soup. So I took 3 spoonfuls of barley soup and ate those 3 spoonfuls to satisfy the need. And I threw the rest of it in the trash. That is not like me. But that is what I did, because I'm determined to make it work. Jody made it work. Other people have made it work. It's time for me to make it work. I don't know how long I have left on this earth. Jesus could come and get me today, and that would be great. But since he ain't, there's no sense in me sitting here waiting for a dome to be destroyed. I need to have some goals, and I need to get healthy without relying on people. And I just wish that I could have spared myself so much stress and living, you know, hiding in my house. You would think I was 600 pounds or 500 pounds or 300 pounds. You would think that I was really big. And it's like, it ain't even like that. But I'm short. I'm only 5'3". So any weight that I put on is going to be really noticeable. And I just don't believe that you're telling me that all I had to do was stop eating starch. That's all the changes that I needed to make to have, I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage Julie to do this with me. I want to encourage all of my sisters who are struggling. Eat the meat and spit out everything else. Eat the meat and spit out everything else. But it's something that has to click in your head to make it happen. And I thought Jesus had forsaken me. Isn't that crazy? The emotion, I just felt like I said, Jesus, I am a hopeless case without you. I am hopeless and I am helpless because I love food. Y'all, I do not fast except when I'm sleeping. I go as long as I can without eating. Okay? And when I'm ready to eat, I eat. And that's what I want. I want the freedom to eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it. If it's 3:00 in the morning and I want something to eat, I want the freedom to go and do that. And keto allows me to do that. One doctor wants me to do Mediterranean. The other one wants me to do keto with a little bit of Mediterranean. He said, I want you to eat a lot of healthy green leafy vegetables. I want you to eat some squash, some zucchini and eggplant and stuff in moderation. He said, I want you to have that. He said, and I want you to be away from processed foods and red meats. I want you to eat a lot of chicken and turkey and fish and vegetables and eggs, and non-dairy cheese and stuff like that. I can do that. But he doesn't want me full Mediterranean because he says it's just too many carbs. He says it's just too many carbs, too high. Just eating, because I can eat a can of beans in one setting. I love beans. Grew up on beans. Nothing like bean stew or bean soup with toast bread and butter, And Julie, I hope you're watching. Please stop eating starches. Please stop eating starches. You can eat you can eat peppers, you can eat mushrooms. Find out all that you can about keto. And and just do that so that you can have success with me. I want you to have success with me. Jody said that the weight just dropped off for her. And Jody is probably still losing weight right now. Craig said that the weight will continue to drop off. He said, you'll keep dropping it off. So, Jody, will we have a plateau? Will there come a time when we will plateau like we do in other diets? Or will we not plateau because we're just constantly burning fat that we already have? That's what I'm wondering. So, let me know if if your doctor ever said to you that now you will plateau. But if we're just burning fat all the time, right? Because there's no carbs or not enough carbs in our system, won't we just continue to burn fat? Will we not have plateau seasons? I just have to thank and praise God. I kept saying in the car, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Not like literally, Jesus, I don't believe it. But like I am overwhelmed with joy. I just can't believe that Jesus pulled this off, that he touched me and he changed my mindset just like that. I mean, I could have been spared so much pain so long ago if I had just given up carbs. I could have lost more weight on Manjaro if I would have just given up carbs. I would have lost more weight on the peptides if I had just given up carbs. Do you know that I had a craving for potato chips the other night? Guess what I did? I ate one potato chip. Who does that? I ate one potato chip, and that was it. Just one. And I chewed it slowly, and I licked my lips, and it was done. It was absolutely done. I ate a hot dog without bread. Who does that? You know, and today's affirmation is, I am who Christ says I am. What do I want to happen today? I want to bless Julie and others in need to quit the carbs. I never thought I would be crying tears of joy today. I never did. I never thought I would be crying tears of joy, but I did. What gives me energy? Once I'm out of bed, I'm charged to get things done. Once I've stretched and made up my bed, then the energy comes. One good thing that happened, I'm doing the evening as well. I lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks. Okay, so I'll bring this over so you guys can see it. What can I let go for a better tomorrow? I've already let it go. I will tell you this much, though. I was a little irritated because I pulled into my parking spot, right? If I had not gotten there when I did, a visitor would have taken my spot, what I call my spot, and I would have been pissed off when I got home. I'm sorry. But then she pulls up beside me and she's in her car fussing and carrying on with somebody. And I just feel like, you know what? When you pull your vehicle into a community parking lot, don't take privileges. Don't take it upon yourself to park right in front of the building. That's where the people who live here park. Park in the rear parking. You know, what gives you the right to park in right up front where people's houses are? You know, that pisses me off, taking those liberties. And it's like people, they just don't think, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, Pam, you are on cloud 9 right now. Why are you letting this superficial crap piss you off? God made sure that you got there before she did. You know, and she will probably be gone, you know, in a short amount of time, you know. But that was probably Doreen's company, because ever since Doreen's cousin moved in with her, you know, I've been seeing a little bit of excess. So that's probably all it is. All right. When do I feel my best and why? I'm going to bring that all the way up here. I feel my best when I first get up out of bed on my own terms, because my stomach is empty and I have energy. And then I go and I tackle my day and everything is great. That's when I feel my best. As the day goes on and I've eaten, my belly is a little bloated, that's when I start feeling wound down, like tired and stuff, you know. Like right now, I don't have a bloated belly. Right now, I'm light on my feet, and I have energy, you know. So that's good. And reflections, what would my reflections be? I don't know right now. I don't know right now what my reflection would be. But I'm just going to put right here, lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks. I just got to write it again. Unbelievable. All right, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you. Jody, I love you. Thank you so much. Julie, I love you as well. Hang in there. Do this thing with me and be amazed. Be amazed. If you just say, what would you rather have? Would you rather eat mac and cheese and oatmeal and potatoes and beans all day, every day, and never eat meat? Or would you rather eat all the meat that your heart desires? Whenever you're hungry, you can just always go and you can eat eggs and you can eat turkey and chicken and you can make yourself a steak and you can put steak sauce on it. I would rather have that. I'm a meat lover. So you guys are in my prayers, as you always are. And I plead the blood of Jesus over every single one of you and over every aspect of your life. And I don't know. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Jody, for your words of encouragement, the details that you gave me. So you think you didn't say much of nothing, but you did. You did. And Julie, you too, sweetheart. Walk with me and let's do this journey together. And anyone else that is ready to give up the carbs and eat healthy, lean meat, preferably white meat. White meat and green vegetables. Green, healthy, leafy vegetables. And the 0 net carb mission tortilla meant to make your sandwich. Yesterday was the first day in my life that I ate tuna without crackers or toast bread. I seasoned it up really well. And I literally enjoyed that tuna. It was cool. It was refreshing. And I couldn't believe it. That ain't nobody but Jesus. I'm going to be honest with you. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Just when you think that Jesus has said, no, I'm not helping you no more. There are no words to describe my gratitude to Jesus for helping me without drugs. Just a made-up mind. A made-up mind. What was it that Craig said that was so different this time? What was it? Between him and what Jody said, I guess apparently it was enough. And the power of Jesus, it was enough to make a difference. And I think about Jazz and her commitment to eating her salmon and committed to eating foods that that help her to not be bloated, and she's sticking to it. I mean, I watched Crafty Girl Chronicles and, her meal plans are just so phenomenal to me. I mean, she's got it pat down what she's going to do, and it's like, I can't be left behind anymore. I've got to do something. I've got to do something. And I just want to thank you guys, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it would have happened for me if it had not been for what Jody had said, because that was the kicker. And then my doctor piggybacking on what she had said was just, and then Jesus, it just did it for me. And I would like to quote Jody and say, I don't want to go back to the way I used to eat. I don't want to go back to that crap. Yeah, it tastes good in the mouth, but I don't want to go back to it. I'm determined to make it work. My birthday is the day that I will allow myself to eat something that is unhealthy, and even then within reason. Maybe one cupcake or one slice of cake or something like that. Maybe, a couple spoonfuls of mac and cheese. All depends on how strong I am. If I feel like if I eat that mac and cheese, I'm going to want more later on in the week, then no, I don't want to set off any triggers, So if I want mac and cheese right now, what would I do? I'd go and I'd get me those cheeses, those 3 cheese blends. And you know what I'd do? Put it over a tortilla. There you go. And it's like a grilled cheese sandwich, right? What else can we put cheese on to replace mac and cheese? Because it's the cheese that makes it what we desire. Am I right? If I say, hey, here's a bowl of macaroni with nothing on it, you're not going to want it. You're only going to want it with the cheese on it. So let's just do away with the macaroni and focus on what we can do to maximize this cheese to give us that mac and cheese effect. You know what I mean? And that's what I would do. Maybe put it on ground beef. Maybe put it on broccoli. Maybe put it on, zucchini, strips of zucchini or something like that. There's so many alternatives for making mac and cheese without actually having the macaroni, and that's what I think this is a big thing, is the alternatives. So that way you don't go back to it. So that way you don't say, well, it's a cheat day, or once a month I eat a bowl of macaroni and cheese. Well, you don't have to do that. You can practice having alternatives so that you don't have to have that type of cheat day. Because sometimes once it's in the mouth, you're going to crave it again. But if I can come up with a satisfying alternative, I can be like, never go back to mac and cheese. So I'm out of here. It's 33 minutes. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.